Pete Buttigieg dropping out after failing to make inroads with African-American voters in South Carolina, a signal he cannot build the coalition he would need to win the nomination.
I will no longer seek to be the 2020 Democratic nominee for president, but I will do everything in my power to ensure that we have a new Democratic president come January.
The former South Bend, Indiana mayor acknowledging he made history as the first openly gay presidential candidate.
We send a message to every kid out there wondering if whatever marks them out as different means they are somehow destined to be less than. To see that someone who once felt that exact same way can become a leading American presidential candidate with his husband at his side.
Buttigieg and the other candidates had spent much of Sunday in Selma, Alabama, commemorating the 55th anniversary this week of the historic march known as Bloody Sunday, with one of the few survivors, Congressman John Lewis, appearing.
We must go out and vote like we never, ever voted before.
Joe Biden, fresh off his big victory in South Carolina, propelled by overwhelming support from black voters, reflecting on the lessons of Selma.
We cannot let our anger, when we gain power, rule us like it has the other party and this president.
In contrast, Mike Bloomberg on the ballots for the first time tomorrow, facing a silent protest from nearly a dozen churchgoers turning their backs on the former New York City mayor, widely criticized for the controversial stop-and-frisk police program for which he has since apologized.
Every place I have tried to listen and I have tried to learn.
You are making them very nervous.
Bernie Sanders skipping Alabama to rally supporters in California, the biggest Super Tuesday delegate prize, touting his campaign's $46 million fundraising haul in February.
We have an excellent chance to win some of the largest states in this country.
Andrea, as we talk about this race, let's set up, how important Super Tuesday is. It's tomorrow night. 14 states, 1 U.S. territory holding primaries, including some big ones. California, Texas, 1,357 delegates up for grabs. That's more than a third of the total. And here's where it stands right now. As we know, Bernie Sanders is in the lead with 63 delegates. At the moment, Biden is close behind. He's got 53 delegates. We know about Biden's big win in South Carolina. But Bernie Sanders goes into Super Tuesday with some major momentum. He had those huge rallies. When you just look at the number of people who turned out for him in places like California, in places like Massachusetts, he has the potential to really run up the score on Super Tuesday. Biden has a path, but it's a narrow one.
It's a very narrow one. Look, first of all, we don't know how Mike Bloomberg is going to do. This is the first time we're going to test him with voters. Biden wants to turn this into a Biden-Sanders race coming out of Super Tuesday. But the fact is he was locked down in South Carolina to win as big as he did there. He has not campaigned in Super Tuesday states. He doesn't have a field organization. So his path is to maybe get 20% in California, be competitive in Texas, try to do well in Massachusetts, do well in Colorado, sweep the South. But Bernie Sanders is doing well in Massachusetts, possibly leading in Massachusetts, where Elizabeth Warren's home state, and Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar's home state. So that could be the end of their campaigns after Super Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot is at stake. It's going to be some real suspense tomorrow night, actually. And we're going to see you tomorrow night, Andrea, of course, for our Super Tuesday coverage. We're going to bring you the results live as we get them. It starts at 7 Central here on NBC, and we'll be on until the wee hours.
Oh, my goodness.